So, lots been going on that has made me really think about the kinds of things that I would like to do with this channel, because I made it for the purpose of having things to do with it. And I decided to keep it intact so that I could potentially come up with what I wanted to do with it. And truth be told, my original intention for it is what I plan to do with it. And to explain a little bit of background, back in 2012, I was powerfully introduced to, or made aware of, the law of attraction and how constant, consistent, and prevalent it is no matter what. So I produced a couple of videos on YouTube. Like, I was going into a series of like self-help and self-love and how you get to a point where you're more actively aware of what you're manifesting. But even at that time, I didn't understand it well enough, and then things happened in my personal life and that went out the window. Then I came back to it this last year, and some of y'all have watched that short-lived video here on YouTube, and just a couple minutes talking about, well, I'm going to talk about this and that and the other thing, and aromatherapy and the chakras and the flower of life and the healing process and this and that and the other thing and blah, 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 blah. I got really excited about it. The problem was that I was seeing each of those subjects as separate from each other, instead of seeing them as facets of a greater whole, when that is what they are. They are all facets of a greater whole. And then personal stuff happened, and I produced the next video that was talking about, I'm not going to be a healing facilitator anymore, I'm going to get into art. That second video, however depressing it was, I just rewatched it recently. It's true. The content is true. I'm not built to be that kind of healing facilitator that I was trying to be. I was stretching myself too thin. Too much was being demanded of me. People were wanting me to be something and someone that I just cannot be. It does not suit me at all. So I decided to go to the more artistic route, because that was pulling me the most, which was awesome. I'm still doing that. I am going the more artistic route. I am drawing, I am cultivating my skills, I'm trying to figure out what exactly it is that I'm wanting to do with my art, and it's kind of starting to click in that duh kind of way of, well, it's that easy, why aren't you doing that? So I'm working on it a little bit at a time, which means I'm probably going to end up going in and reworking my Instagram, but that's another story. Anyway, this video, the point of it, however super vlogish it is talking more about how I am brought back to the original intention of this channel, which is information sharing and being a voice of experience, talking about understanding the process of the law of attraction, the process of healing, how all of that correlates with itself and other things, like the chakras, sacred geometry, and the flower of life. All of that goes together as one cohesive unit. It's just different facets of that same beautiful prismatic entity. And so I plan on hopefully being more active on this channel and talking about explaining from my perspective the understanding about the law of attraction and whatnot. And what helped me, what really inspired me to get back into this, is email exchanges that I was having with a really good friend of mine who has watched the videos that I posted, even the ones that I posted back on Facebook for my friends, and then watched the ones that were here on YouTube. And I told told me, go for it. You have a beautiful face, you have a beautiful voice, you're intelligent and talented, and you should do it. And they're an amazing person, and I'm very, very grateful to them. They know who they are. Thank you very much, my very, very dear friend, for inspiring me to try and get back into this again, because I am really passionate about information sharing. If you know things, it is important to share them, especially if they could benefit more than just you. You know that they could benefit other people. Or even if you don't know that that information can benefit other people, it is a good idea to just get out there and be like, this is my experience, this is how I handled it, this is what I learned from it. Ta-da. And that's kind of what I want to do, is utilizing personal experiences as story time to explain law of attraction and how it constantly is working. It's not working just when you're aware of it. It works by default all the time, even when you're not aware of it. It works for the negatives as well as the positives. Your frustration will breed more frustration. Your joy will breed more joy. It's not just about what you're thinking, it's about how you're feeling about what you're thinking. The feeling is actually that much more important than the thought. The thought helps. It's a really great guide, but it's the feeling that matters. And that's part of some of the stuff that I want to get into. So yeah, producing the art on the side, but getting into producing these videos because it helps more than just me to have this knowledge. It would help a whole bunch of people. And I'm the kind of person that I found that by putting it out there with another person, like especially these emails that I was having with this friend, I was getting more clarity for myself by helping them see clarity in their own life through our exchanges. Like him asking me questions and me giving the answers was making me think about it, and then I was getting the clarity for it, and I was like, oh, I gotta remember that. And that's part of why I want to get back into these videos, because now I have more of that clarity that has molded all of these pieces together into a greater image, which will make it much easier to share for the masses. Yeah, so forgive the vlogish style update, but that is what I'm currently trying to do more of, and haven't quite yet decided what I want the first video to be about. Maybe I will talk about a personal experience involving how how the law of attraction is going to both attract in the positives as well as the negatives, and everything in between, the difference between living by default and living with awareness, the most simplistic definitions for the law of attraction, heart coherence, how Taoism can come into play. I'm talking about those subjects in a cohesive manner that really supports the law of attraction instead of talking about them as separate entities from each other. Maybe using some of those things as examples. Some of the things that seem separate as examples to really support that. So, yeah. Again, apologies for ranting and not prettying myself up for this, but this information really wanted to get out, and I didn't want to wait for me to primp and cream and make myself all shiny to get the information out there. So here it is, nice and clear and raw for you. So thank you very much for watching. I will get the next video out soon. Travel lightly, my dear friends, and have a wonderful day.